Okay guys, welcome back. I quickly wanted to address the Eclipse twin situation. Obviously, all of the combo guides you have seen online everywhere have made the combos with the Eclipse twins because we were expecting this card to come also in my combo guide. This is the same thing, but it's no big problem here and it doesn't really change that much, but I want to talk about it in this video. So this is the Eclipse twin. If you're not aware of what this does, if this goes to the graveyard and you have two other XYZs there, then you can resummon one of the other XYZs and attach the other one to it as a material, which is one of the ways that you can bring your detonator back. Another way would, for example, be the Ryziel plugin. And I have also shown you a combo, or I have used this in multiple combos that I've shown you where I send the Eclipse twins. And then I've shown you one combo with the X Ryziel. It's called X Ryziel into Eclipse twins, where I basically show you how you can send your duo drive with your X Ryziel, play around NIP, and then still get your Eclipse twins. This combo obviously you cannot use at the moment. Every other combo though does work the same way. Instead of sending the Eclipse twins in the X Ryziel case, you would still send the dual drive in order to play around NIP like I showed you. And in these other instances, if you don't need this dual drive, which you will attach to the other dual drive that you make, you can just send the Mario Logic aggregator, which is what we basically put under Ryziel detonator in the beginning. So instead of this Eclipse twins, you will most likely have this Mario Logic aggregator under the Ryziel detonator. If this goes to the graveyard, you can target one card on the field and negate it. So this is the difference basically, but it does not really change the combo lines, minus this one combo line with the X Ryziel I showed you, but this will be irrelevant in the future. This also doesn't hinder this deck when it comes to the power level too much, in my opinion. Yeah, this changes up the things a bit. It's definitely stronger with the Eclipse twins, but it is what it is. And what you can see right here is the list that I've played over in Master Duel in the live stream throughout the entire day, and which I think is very, very nice. And just because I have made some changes to the list that I suggested to you in the combo guide video, I wanted to quickly go over this and show you replacements for the Eclipse twins. Not replacements in the sense that this replaces what Eclipse twins wants to do, because there is no replacement for this besides like the Ryziel plugin basically somehow. But yeah, what you could play instead of it. So in the list here, we have not really changed up that much. In the main deck, we are playing one NIP, we are playing one Star Ryziel, triple Ice, triple Sword Ryziel, one Node, and then two X Ryziels. I like the Fuva losses here. I like the Ash Blossom. The Fuva loss you can also put back to the deck with the 7 Tachyon, for example, which makes them nice, or you discard them with the Node Ryziel, which is great. Then we have Maxis, we have the 7 Tachyon and 777 Ascension. I think this is kind of necessary, and this proved to be very effective throughout the day. This has a 92% per chance to open a one card starter with this alignment here basically. And I never really bricked, sometimes I bricked obviously, but I've played a lot of games, a super consistent deck where you will also draw a lot of non-engines. So yeah, I would go, if you have the money, for the 7th Ascension, the 7th Tachyon route. If you don't have it, you could also, I've seen this, go for Small World, which is only a super rare. It's worse, but it still works. You can use the Shark engine, you can use Fiendsmith if you want to, but this is the optimal thing in my opinion. One Bonfire, one Ryziel plugin, two Kolber, one Crossout. It's the same. What I did consider throughout playing, I did consider putting out this Nibiru for Mulch Army Purulia, just because Nibiru blocks your own X Ryziel's search, and then you can also cross out a Purulia if you get hit with that, because that's very effective against Ryziel. Also, you have a Purulia yourself, because on the ladder there were a lot of Ryziel players, but it's not super necessary. One Cross, one Plasma Hole, then triple Infinite Impermanence, and I put in the Drone and Lockbird over the Lancea because I mainly only faced Ryziel, and especially with these cards here, it's very effective again into the Ryziel matchup. And then I put in two Talents here. I don't like to put in three, because then you sometimes open two of them. Obviously, you can also open these two here, but it's not super likely. And they also were very clutch in breaking the board or continuing my plays. For the extra deck, we still play one Mirror Logic Aggregator, two Ryziel Detonator. You can play three, but it's also an ultra rare. One number 104 Masquerade to search with the 7 Tachyon. Then we playing two Ryziel Duo Drive. In theory, we could play one Ryziel Duo Drive, but this makes a lot of combo lines worse. And then you can, for example, not make this protected under NIP combo line that I've showed you with the X Ryziel. Baguska, very important one. The Evil Swarm Extinction Knight is like the MVP of this deck. Just make this guy, it's necessary. Then Infernal Flame Banshee, which is also an ultra rare. You don't need to get her, but then your combo lines would look a bit different. I've shown you this optimal combo with the Ice Ryziel and the Infernal Flame Banshee playing around NIP basically. Then you would to have to adjust your Ice Ryziel combo lines if you don't play it, but it's not necessary. Dugaris, very strong, but this I never made because on my end board I mostly made a Starlight Photon Blaster Dragon. I will talk about this in a moment, but this is also a very good card. This was surprisingly good, the full armored Utopic Ray Lancer, which normally you need to make with 3 level 4 monsters, but you can also make him over any other XYZ, so for example a Ryzel Duo Drive, by discarding I think a spell or trap from the hand, or the spell, yeah, by discarding a spell trap from the hand, which definitely is nice if you get your turn back, for example, and you still have a Duo Drive. Then oftentimes you have, I don't know, an Ascension or Tachyon in the hand that you don't need anymore because they, yeah, you have your Ryzel follow up, or you can't search anymore, for example. And then you can just overlay this guy by discarding the spell trap over, for example, a Duo Drive or anything else, obviously. And this is kind of nice to kill the opponent because this has monsters your opponent control lose 500 attack. At the start of the battle phase, you can negate the effects of all attack position monsters your opponent currently controls. And when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, detach 1, and then this can make a second attack, not on monsters, but in general a second attack, so could also attack the life points. Then we have a Super Star Slayer, which I, funnily enough, put in very late, but this is very necessary, very good, especially into the Ryzel mirror match, because this can out Detonator on its own. Obviously, Detonator cannot destroy it because it has 3000 attack. Then here's a Gallant Granite that you can also make in searching out in Nibiru if you want to, but mostly on the end board I went for a Starlight Photon Blaster Dragon. You can decide, you can go for the Dugaris Draw 2, you can in theory go for a Baguska, basically lock your opponent, you can go for the Granite, grab the Nibiru, or you can go for the Starlight Photon Blaster Dragon, which basically says that monsters with a 2000 or more attack cannot be targeted, which makes your Ryzel Detonator untargetable by stuff like Imperm, by stuff like Metal Tronus or Ultimate Slayer. If your opponent has 2 Imperms, then you can just use 2 Imperms, one on the Photon Blaster, one on the Ryzel Detonator, of course, but this is very expensive. And then the card that I never made was Primeath Laplacian. This is also super rare. A lot of these cards are super rares. There are obviously other options, so in theory you can make this with 3 level 4 monsters and then rip 1 card from your opponent's hand, 1 from the field, and 1 from the so 1 spell trap and 1 monster and 1 from the hand, basically. There are other options that I just quickly want to show you, but these are ultra rares. Tornado Dragon you could play to destroy a spell trap, also nice, but it's an ultra rare. The Trap Tricks with Lesia I showed you before, you can also play. Then I would maybe also play Gravedigger's Trap Hole in addition, but this is also an ultra rare. Then there is the Ignister Dragon guy, which can, I think, pop a card here. This one, the Light Dragon Ignister, which is also an ultra rare. And then there's also the Castel, which can bounce a card back to the hand, which is also an ultra rare. And you can combine the Castel, for example, with, if you want to, and just that you have seen it, Harpy's Featherstorm, which I think, if I am correct here, correct me if I'm wrong, is also an ultra rare, but what you can do in theory is make this Castel, which is a winged beast, and then you can, play these Harpy's Featherstorm. If you control a winged beast monster until the end of this turn, negate any monster effects your opponent activates. You can also do this with Mulchami Fuvolos, by the way. So yeah, this could also be played by you, but this is obviously way better going first and not that great going second if you open your Harpy's Featherstorm. It's just not great, so I don't really recommend this. This list is kind of nice, kind of clean, and this is what we basically do without the Eclipse Twins, so no big deal here. There could have definitely been worse things not to come, like the Star Ryzel or something else. This is fine, we will get this in the future, but this is the correction basically for the combo guide video. Let me know if you have any further questions in the comments below. Otherwise, enjoy playing the new decks.